What's going on? It's Jack from Keylitic, and in this video we are going to be doing our part 2 on our product research masterclass, and this is all about vetting winning products. So if you didn't see the first video, we talked about generating product ideas. If you have absolutely no idea what you want to sell, you're just starting out, go to our video over there and we're going to talk about how to find winning products. But now, in this video, once you've found some products you like, we're going to talk about vetting those products. So let's get into it right now. After watching our previous video, hopefully you have a roster of maybe about 10 to 15 products that you really want to vet further. So once you find a product that you think is cool, it doesn't really just stop there and you don't just throw money at it and throw ads at it and hope for the best. We want to make data-driven decisions to make sure that we have the highest percentage to actually hit with our products. So there's going to be two things we're going to want to vet. The first thing is the product itself, and I'm going to walk through how to do that first. And then we're going to want to vet the audience. So first things first, let's go over how to vet an actual product. So once you've found a couple of products you want to vet, there's really 3 characteristics you want to check for. Ideally, they'll have 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3, but even just 1 out of these 3 works. So whenever you find some products, run through these 3 things. The first, does it solve a problem? So when you think about businesses, what does a business exist to do? At the end of the day, a business exists to solve a problem, whether it's dry cleaners or you're selling clothes. No matter what it is, if you own a business and you're not existing to solve a problem, then you're not going to exist that long. So think of dropshipping businesses like an actual business. If you're not solving a problem, you're not going to exist. So you want to make sure that you have some products that are hopefully solving someone's problem or a pain point they're having. So you can see here I highlighted usefulness over novelty. So I'm going to go over 3 products I found on AliExpress that I all think have potential, but we're just going to go over this first characteristic to really vet to make sure. So the first one is this fly trap that I found using Keylitic. So fly traps, is that something that's useful? Yes. The answer is of course yes. Someone who's buying this product is having problems with flies in their backyard or maybe in their kitchen, wherever you want to hang this up. People are buying this because it's a pain point and they're sick of the flies flying in their house. This product solves that for them. Now, the other one I talked about is novelty. So is this product novel? Not necessarily. It's not funny. There's nothing too unique about it. You could maybe get that at a Walmart. But this, on the other hand, this 3D grenade ice maker that I saw in the previous video, is this useful? Does this solve a problem? Technically, yes, but this problem can be solved a lot more affordably just from getting your standard ice trays. But this is actually a novel product. So this is something that you cannot find this in a store. It's something that is super unique that someone would see this, and if they really think it's cool, they're going to buy it. Are they going to actually want to buy this to solve a problem? Yes, but not really. Not so much as this fly trap, which is much more of a practical product, not so much as a novelty product. And then, of course, which we saw in the last video, was this RC car cockroach. This is clearly a novelty product. It's not something that's going to be super useful. It doesn't really solve a problem. If you want to, maybe scare your friend or you're scaring your wife or whatever it is, there's definitely uses for it, and people will buy it. So I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea and think that novelty products cannot sell, because novelty products will sell. But what I'm saying is if they're novel and can solve a problem, that's probably more ideal. So in this RC card, yes, it absolutely will sell. All of the 3 of these products I know can sell online because I've seen them in previous ads, or I just know, like this, I've never seen an ad for. Maybe they exist. We're going to find out in this video. But I just know for a fact that there will be demand for these types of products. So don't get hung up on if it's not absolutely solving a problem and if it's maybe not quite as novel as you'd like. That's just kind of the first thing that I wanted to go over. So let's get into the next topic. Okay, so the next characteristic is passion. You want to make sure you have an product, ideally, that people have a lot of passion for. So that could be, maybe it's because it's branded. So like maybe let's say Pokemon, for example. There's a lot of people that are passionate about Pokemon. Or maybe it's even bass fishing, which is what my first dropshipping store was about. There's a lot of people who come together. They spend a lot of their disposable income in these hobbies or in these passions, and these are the types of people that are going to be your ideal customer. So knowing what we know about passion, let's quickly review our 3 products. So the fly trap. Is there a lot of passion around this product? Not really. No one's going to be having, fly trap conventions where people are spending a lot of money and they're getting their autograph from their favorite fly trap maker. Not a lot of passion in this space. Now, can you market it towards a passion? So for example, let's say people love grilling but they can't grill outside in their patio because there's flies everywhere. Can you spin it that way so it can supplement a passion? Yes, and that's where you need to be a smart marketer and really learn how to market your products effectively. But in general, is this a passion product? Not really. So, the grenade ice maker. Is this a passionate product? This, again, all comes down to the marketing. I would make the argument yes, just because this could really be marketed towards military guys or war guys or people who are real into all that stuff. You could really put a spin on your marketing to find people who would be absolutely passionate about something like this. Maybe not this product per se, but that industry or that market. So like I said, this right now, your guys who are in the army, your guys who are doing cookouts, you know, your macho type guys, your alpha guys, that's probably a really good product for that. Now, the infrared remote control little RC car. Is there going to be passion around that? No. I mean, if you're passionate about like being a prankster or like pulling pranks on people, yes. But again, unless you can find people who absolutely love cockroaches, which if you do, don't hang out with me because we're not going to get along, not really so much passion around it. So passion is just, again, just to quickly recap, all about people who absolutely either love that product or love that market and industry. So every product can have passion if you really learn how to market. So like I said, this one maybe for your jokesters, this one for your military guys, this one maybe for your grilling guys. So think about your target market, really niche down in that market and really find out what makes them tick and what they're passionate about. Put that in your marketing and that's going to be a great product for you. So the last characteristic is pretty self-explanatory and that's unique. Is the product unique? If you can find this product in Walmart and Target, on Amazon real easily, then no, then that product's not that unique. You want to find something that's unique. That's something where someone can't just run to the store real quickly and buy. And that also kind of comes into that novelty. And that's why these two are kind of very similar in their categories. So just, is the product unique? This portable fly trap, is this unique? I would argue no, because I know fly traps like this do exist. However, if you could find a fly trap, and we're going to do this on the fly, no pun intended. If you could find a fly trap that maybe looks unique, so maybe it looks like a frog or like, okay, so all these are pretty standard. Let's just see real quickly if we can find something that looks super unique or super cool. At the front, no, but that doesn't mean you can't find one. I'm sure there are stuff that exists like that would be cool. But you kind of get my point. If you find something that solves a problem but in a unique way, then that's something that's also pretty interesting. Okay, actually, so this one uses LED. That's pretty interesting. This one, you're capturing birds with a net. I don't know why you would do that. But you can see there's a lot of different unique ways to solve the problem, which is good. So it doesn't fit my exact example of like, oh, it looks like a frog. But it doesn't have to just be physically unique. If it is unique in the way it solves the problem, that's also really good. So the next one, this, I mean, obviously this is unique. If you go to your Stop and Shop, for my East Coast people, your Ralph's on my West Coast people, you're not going to really find ice trays that look like this. This is something where if you're just scrolling through Facebook and you saw it, you'd be like, wow, that's cool. I want that right now. I know I'm not going to find that anywhere else. If you can create that scarcity and that elusivity, like you're the only place that actually carries this, that's going to be great for you in your marketing. So is this unique? Yes. Now, the RC car cockroach. This is also obviously very unique. Can you get RC cars that just look like regular cars? Obviously, yes. Can you get little stuff like cockroach, little like toys? Not stuff, but you know what I mean, little toys? Yes, you could. This right now is what's unique about this is it combined two things and makes them one very interesting product. So it's obviously meant to scare people. It's cool. It's not something you're going to see a lot. I know they make like mice, which also kind of solve the similar thing, but it's more for cat toys. So that's really just a great thing about marketing in general. The technology that goes behind these little RC cars has been around for decades. It literally started as the RC cars, and then people took the same technology and they applied it to the cat niche, and they made little cat RC cars that your cat would chase around. And then they put it in the novelty space if you want to scare people. That's just really a general example of how powerful marketing can be, of taking old tech and applying it in new ways. And that's really how you always become unique. Because the tech, yes, we have new tech and new evolutions and things, but generally we have the same principles and the same baselines for our tech, and it's just applying them to new markets. And that's really what business is all about. So Those are our three things. Now we're going to get into it even deeper. Okay, real quickly, before we get any further, if you like this video, I would love for you to subscribe to the Keylitic Software YouTube channel. You can see we have a bunch of different videos on niche hunting where we actually go through and show you different products in different hot niches. We also have older videos on more general things, like if you want to have a general versus a niche store, how to market your products. We have a bunch of different videos on our channel. So if you're liking this video, just real quickly subscribe to us, plug over. Let's get back to the video. So using the characteristics I talked about in the previous segment, that's good, but that's not all you have to do to vet products. Now we need to actually do a really deep dive and explore some of the data behind some of our products. When we're vetting our products, we want to make sure they have the 3 S's. Remember these 3 things. The first one is sales velocity. That makes sure we want to make sure we're having a lot of sales that have happened recently and at a high speed. I'm going to show you how we can check that on AliExpress. The next one is social proof. We want to see if we can hopefully find if that exact product doesn't have social proof, maybe that market has some social proof. I'm going to talk about how to do that in this video. And then of course, saturation. We want to make sure these products aren't already heavily saturated, and I'm going to show you how to check that as well. The first thing though is sales velocity. You hear me talk a lot about sales velocity on this channel. So I have an MBA in business analytics. So when I think about sales velocity, there's very specific formulas and models that run through my head. For you guys, you really don't need to get into the weeds for that. In its simplest form, sales velocity is simply the number of units sold over a certain amount of time. So a perfect example of what people do wrong when they look for products on AliExpress is they'll type in, I just typed in winter coat, for example, and they'll hit sort by orders. So you can see the amount of sales people have. And then they'll say, oh yeah, look, they'll talk about a magic number of, 300 to 500 sales, or 500 or more sales is an ideal product or something that's great for you. I'm going to show you an example of where something like that isn't necessarily super useful, because these sales numbers come from the amount of sales over the past 6 months. But let's look at this St. Patrick's Day product, for example. Yes, there's not a whole lot of orders here, but this is just a quick example, so just let your imagination run wild. Let's say there was a lot of sales for this product, and 19 orders actually isn't terrible. So we're going to go to the transaction history tab. Every single product in AliExpress has this. It pretty much just shows you how many sales someone purchased this product and when they did. So let's look at this. They had 19 sales. So let's say you were looking for a product and that met your criteria of sales. But now we're actually going to look at the transaction history and the information. You can see that these sales are almost a month old. So this one was a month old, almost a month old. This one's over a month old. And you can see we had one from May, April. Then you see a lot of these sales are from April. So you really want to make sure you're analyzing the transaction history of some of your products. So this one doesn't have a lot of sales, so you can see the date is just really distributed out. But for sales velocity, let's look at another product that I had found. This one is just a winter coat. It was one of the top ones I found. You can see for the sales velocity on this product, a lot of them are recent. So this, just from today, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buyers just from today. And then you can see we had a bunch from August 7th. So this is more of the transaction history you're likely to see if you have a more popular product. But one thing I definitely want you to take note of is make sure that the sales velocity is coming from just individual buyers and not drop shippers, because this is a great way to see if you actually have competition. So in this product right here for this winter coat, we can see that this person from Argentina with the same name, same country, this is obviously the same person. Another reason we can tell, all these sales came from the same date and around the same time period. So that means this person's a drop shipper who's probably fulfilling their orders from their drop shipping website. So this is a great way when you're looking through these transaction histories of, yes, there's a lot of sales, but this one is all from a specific person, which means probably a drop shipper, or maybe it's someone from a store. Either way, yes, there's sales, but just make sure you're being mindful of that. So sales velocity, the amount of sales, how recently and how quickly they've appeared. Look out for that. So next thing we want to check is if a product or an industry has social proof. This is really easy to check. Pretty much all you're going to have to do is just look at your product, go on Facebook, go on YouTube, go on Reddit, go on some of these social media channels, even check out Google Trends. And we're going to want to see, does this product actually have a following, or at least some kind of headway or traction? Maybe it's a post that has a lot of likes. So the best thing to do would be to go to Facebook, type in that exact product, and then we're going to see what we can find. Now I'm going to wait to do that till saturation because both of these two are going to play hand in hand. So I guess I'm going to talk about two of these both at once as I'm going through. So we're going to hop on Facebook. We're going to look at some of the products I found previously, and let's check both their social proof and their saturation. We're on Facebook. We're going to use that Grenade 3D ice tray as an example right now, but you're going to want to do this with every single product you find that you think has potential. You're going to go to Facebook, you're going to go to Reddit, you're going to go to YouTube, you're going to search up those products and just see what you find. Now what I'm looking for is something that has hopefully not too many ads around it, because then the product's going to be saturated. And if they're all also fairly recently, or if they're old, that doesn't matter too much for me. If something was, real big, maybe 3 years ago, that's not something I want to look for. But I also don't want to sell something that's really popular right now. So that Grenade ice tray little mold, you can see that there was a video right here from a dropshipping store. It had 16,000 views. It was made this year, so it looks like someone obviously tried to sell that before. It's probably a dropshipper. If you want to actually get your own product videos, I highly, highly recommend making your own videos for products and not just using image ads on Facebook. You can probably splice some of these ads right here that you've seen. Just don't copy them exactly, or you're going to get copyrighted and your ad account's going to get banned. So if you're really good at video editing, you can maybe splice up some of these videos. So take 3 seconds from here of a clip, maybe the ice tray is being opened, and then you put your own text overlays and things over it that way. Just be very careful you're not copying someone's video exactly, or you will get in trouble for that. But I'm liking, we can see some people have shared it. There's been some comments, some shares. Okay, so this one's actually from a real person, not even a page, which is even better. It says, hand grenade ice cube maker I bought online. What do you think? Laugh out loud. So we're going to click this, see what actually people think. This is a great way to get social proof. So someone bought this. What do you think? They're looking for feedback. This is great. What can we find? That's the bomb. So someone obviously liked it. Perfect for bourbon. Okay, this is awesome. This is the type of feedback when we talk about, Jack, how do I target my products? This is what I'm talking about when you really learn how to do market research and you're really diving into your products. This person's saying it's perfect for bourbon. So we go into our Facebook ads and we're going to our targeting. Who are we going to target? We can probably target bourbon lovers or people who like whiskey. These are for our hard alcohol people. I mean, you could probably make that assumption anyway, but this is just that validation right here. So let's see. Okay, Jello shots. There's another one. This is the things, do you do Jello shots? Are you, the life of the party? So maybe people who like parties or things like that. So let's see. So second this, that's another one. They like it. It's cute. When it explodes, it's a real icebreaker. That person should pick up a career in comedy. Yeah, so I like that there have been some real people who have shared it. They've gotten some feedback, and the feedback is overwhelmingly positive. So as far as social proof, we have it there, but we can also see there's not too many ads for this product. So it's not overly saturated. This is kind of that perfect blend I'm looking for, and this would be an ideal product that I would probably try and sell myself. Okay, so moving on to the last part of this video, we're going to talk about how we can validate our product with data now. There's really 3 things we want to do when we're trying to validate our product with data. We want to look at trends, which we're going to use Google Trends. We're going to want to look at demand, which we're going to use Keylitic for, and then audience size, which we're going to use Facebook for. So the first thing is trends. If you find that product, we're going to stick with that ice mold, for example. We're going to go to Google Trends, which is 100% totally free. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this tool as well. You're going to type in just ice tray. You don't want to type in anything on Google Trends that's too product specific, like grenade, ice tray mold, because there's not going to be many searches for it. You're not going to get any results that look like they're quality because it's just going to be too niche. You want to type in general products or just general industries. So we can see ice tray right here had a very big increase around Christmas time, and then it flattened out and it looks pretty inconsistent. But when we're on Google Trends, we're not just going to use the default settings. We want to make sure we're actually analyzing shopping trends. So you can see right here, there's a category called web search. We're going to go to Google Shopping. What that does is when we're on Google Shopping, it'll actually organize the sales. So before, remember when we looked at just the searches, like, oh, ice tray didn't look that good. That's where most people stop. But you can see just based on the United States the past 12 months, if you want to filter out more, you can. That's typically what I stick with, though. You can also even do it by categories. Not really relevant for me. This is what I stick with. This is the baseline. And you can see it actually looks a lot better on Google Trends, and it's actually about to even have it's about to double in popularity. So I look for generally on Google Shopping, the numbers are going to be a bit lower than on general trends. If you can find something that's, let's say 50 or higher, in a perfect world 70 or higher, but 50 or higher is fine. And then if you can really just see a big jump. So I actually really like this trend that I'm seeing right now. It looks like it's about to have a lot more interest. We can even see if there's certain areas we want to market it through trends. We can see like in Delaware, in Maine, it's real big. So related queries, Google Trends isn't really too good at this, especially when it gets more niche, and that's really what's great about Keylitic, where that comes in. So now we're going to talk about how to use Keylitic. So we're on Keylitic, and when we're using Keylitic and Google Trends, any of these things that are really analyzing search volume and search data and things like that, you never want to type in things that are too specific to start out with, because the more niche it is, the harder it's going to be to actually analyze those searches, because there's not going to be as many of them, and that's going to make your results not look good. So if we're talking about the grenade ice tray, rather than actually typing grenade ice tray in, we're going to start more broad, and we're going to say ice tray. And now what we're going to want to do is on Google Chrome, if you hit Control F, you can see that little search bar pops up. And what we're going to want to do is we can see if we can find the product that way using the keyword. So it's a grenade. So we're going to type in grenade and see if it, there you go. Grenade popped up right here. It's a 7.7. So anything that pops up on Keylitic, if it's a 7 or below, we're not going to even show it to you at all. We prefer quality over quantity. So 7.7, really solid score. We can see it popped up. That's a great way to validate, okay, this product actually does have demand, because what we're seeing is people are searching it and it's moving. That's what Keylitic is really analyzing in the back end behind the scenes, and a 7.7 is awesome. So the last thing we're going to want to do really quickly is go to our Facebook Ads Manager account just to make sure the audience that we're thinking of in our mind is actually large enough to market to. So you're going to create a campaign. It doesn't matter what you click. We're not going to actually launch this campaign and spend any money on it. We just want to make sure the audience size is appropriate, which we'll see on the side right here. So when we're filling this out, we're going to think about that product and who we're going to market it to. So with our grenade ice tray, we're going to think about who would we sell this to. So we're going to start geographically. So United States obviously is one. And for just testing an audience, I normally just stick with the United States. If you have something where you know it would really do well in another country, add it there too. So you can see right now our potential reach is 95 million, which is way, way too high. So you want to kind of use this gauge as kind of a barometer of where you should be at. It kind of is wonky sometimes, so you'll see it adjust and then it will just go back to where it's at. But ideally, you want this to be somewhere in the middle and even to the left. As far as an actual reach size, anything that's in the low millions, maybe even high hundreds of thousands is like a good number. There's really no correct way. You definitely don't want to have it too low. If your potential reach is only like 10,000, 20,000, or 100,000, it's not going to be worth it. Just think about it that way. That the audience is so small, so your cost to actually reach those people is going to be higher, and the pool is going to be smaller. So it's definitely not worth it. So we have the United States. Perfect. Now, our age range. Typically what I like to do as a rule of thumb is start out with a general product just about the age of 22. The reason I do that is generally by that age, people are done with college. They have a bit more disposable income. If you have a product you think would do really well in the college market, then absolutely go with a younger age. And then you can just keep 65 plus. Again, unless you're really hyper-focused and you know the perfect market, but we're just going to do more of a general audience here. So men is already selected. We want to target men with this product. Perfect. So English, all. So that's both the UK and the US. Doesn't matter too much. They know English. Okay, so now here's where we're going to really start diving deep into starting to segment our audience. So you can see I also enabled a function right here where you can add something where people have to have both interests. So in this case, I like to do this because we can really make sure we're hitting the right people who would actually be willing to buy. So what we're going to want to do in our detailed targeting, we're going to show people who have interest in the military, because for me, that's who I think would show interest in that product. There's probably others, but we're just going to do this as an example. So we hit the military. They're going to actually calculate how many new people would be interested. Now you can see now it went to 18 million. Still a little high, but it's not bad. But we're also going to want to add another interest now. So we're going to go to this section right here where it says and must also match at least one. So that means we're going to type man cave. So people who showed an interest in man cave or products to put in their man cave. So that actually is an interest. So what you're going to see here is because it said and must also match one of the following, what we're saying here is the people I want to target in my ad must like the military, and they must also be interested in a man cave. So you can see that really brought our audience size down to just under 1 million people. So it could be a little higher. So if you want to actually adjust with that and play around with that so it's in the couple million, you know, maybe 2 million people, 3 million people, that's fine as well. This is about the lowest I would go, maybe a little bit lower for audience size, because at that point your audience is just going to get saturated so quickly. But this is fine. So these are the interests. This is probably the targeting I would go with. I would probably also put a detailed targeting for people who have an interest in online shopping. So we can actually put that up here in this category. So we can say online shopping. So these are people who have actually shown that they will spend money online and purchase products online. Those are the kind of people we want to be targeting, right? So we could see once we added they're interested in online shopping, it actually boosted that potential reach up to almost 1.5 million people. Now that's a really good audience that I like. This is perfect. I would then go ahead and probably just do, if I was actually going to run this ad, you know, maybe do $5 to $10 a day, test it for a couple of days, but it'd also create a couple of audiences as well. But in the scope of this course and this video, this is fine. If you guys want me to create a whole Facebook marketing masterclass, I can do that for you as well, but we're just focusing on the product research side. Sorry for the jump cut there. This is now the second day I've been filming this video. It's taken me really a long time to put together and edit, so thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, drop a like on it for me. If you have a question or a comment, drop it in the comments, and also hit the bell icon so when we upload new content, you can be the first to know about it and put it into action for yourself. In the next video, we're going to be talking about how to actually take your product and make an actual listing for it. So we're going to dive into a Shopify store. You're going to watch me make the listing in real time with the title and the descriptions, so you can really have your store optimized to not only convert, but to have those keywords in there you need to actually get traffic to your site organically. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to try Keylitic for yourself, you can use the promo code Keylitic10 when you apply at checkout, and you'll get $10 only for your first month. It's a huge discount. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!